Hey everyone, welcome to the 5th episode of making a Half-Life 2 maps merger and renderer. And today is pretty unscheduled stream. Usually I stream on Thursday, but today I decided that I will stream today too. So last time we ended up with loading many levels and positioning them as a single huge map. This is how it looks like. Yeah. I hope that encoder is happy today because I was rewatching the last stream and noticed how it stuttered a lot on video. Everything is super smooth for me, so if there are any issues with it, please let me know. Okay, so this ended up with map like the canals part of the game. I don't remember how it's actually split into chapters or whatever. I think the next will be LI Lab and then Ravenholm. But yeah, I'm currently limiting number of loaded maps because somewhere in the later part of the game there's a map, at least one map, which breaks this thing and and basically GPU memory gets corrupted and it doesn't display anything well. I'm afraid that it can like crash my machine because I had that happen to me before, so I'm not risking that today. Yeah, this is an issue of two levels intersecting the same geometry with slightly different material settings, and this is a broken part which I also need to fix at some point because I don't believe that this overlap is legitimate. Like it seemed like there's some landmark info being read incorrectly or some leftover from early map iterations, something like that, because this should connect to some part, like another tube going in that direction, and it doesn't, and I will need to find out what's going on here at some point. If we have time, I think I will look at it today, but I'm not sure that we'll have time. Алексей Грачев, добрый день. Ingus Pus Mukans Alyo. Hello, I'm not sure what language you speak, so the stream is both in English and in Russian. I will mostly comment in English, but I will reply to comment to Russian questions in Russian. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, because I have no idea how to read. My apologies. Okay, so today's plan. I made this nice GitHub project for this thing, and today I'm going to, like, this will be lower priority. I will be going to try to read VPK files directly. Currently I'm using this VPK fuse this tool to mount VPK files as so here this MNT directory and several VPK files are mounted here. This is a helper script that I use, and I want to get rid of it. I want for this application to be self-sufficient. In order to do that, I will need VPK file format, which is this thing on Valve Wiki. And I already have read it, and I'm not sure that I understand all the details here correctly. So I will look at this implementation here to see what this guy does. Okay. Let's start with reading this one. So basically, first thing that VPK archives consist of many files. There's this directory file, dir VPK, and then archive files with same name but number VPK. This one contains the directory metadata like file names, sizes, and stuff like that. And these files, there can be many of them. They contain actually file data, but there's a slight detail in that. We'll come to it later. So the directory starts with a header. There are actually two kinds of headers possible. I think I will be focusing on this one because I don't think that my tool is supposed to load any data that is not like... Yeah, maybe that would be interesting to... So it seems to be really outdated, so there can... I don't expect any of these files be in the wild, any relevant to my tool, so I will focus in this, supporting this. So there is this header and tree length, directory tree. File data offset. Okay, this is not this thing. So it seems that there's this header, and then right after that there's this tree data, which looks like okay, let's actually look at it. So I do have like a lot of VPK files in here. Okay, let's go with it. Okay, let's like dir. I don't have a good like hex viewer here. That is not convenient. Hex dump. I'll have only hex dump here. Okay, so this is canonical. Okay, let's try it like this. CFG whitelist, what is this? Okay, I don't think that I will be able to see anything useful in this. So CFG, like here, this extension, then directory name with space for some reason. Like directory name is space, then 0 terminator, then whitelist file name, then 0. Then some file data header and yeah, it's not really convenient to parse this by hand. Anyway. Альё, ето на русском. Отлично. Гекарка, привет. Сегодня вроде понедельник. Да, внезапный стрим, я не планировал его, я просто решил, что вот у меня сегодня есть маленько времени постримить. Вот. Гай. Привет, над чем сейчас работаешь? Привет, я работаю над рендером множества Half-Life'овых карт, чтобы соединить их в одну гигантскую геометрию, над которой можно полетать. Вот. Конкретно сегодня я собираюсь грузить VPK-файлы из тулзы, не используя сторонних штук. Вот сейчас я использую VPK Fuse для того, чтобы смонтировать VPK-шечки. Вот я хочу так не делать. Я хочу, чтобы тулза была самодостаточной, и ее таким образом можно было... Ну, то есть это шаг в сторону того, чтобы ее заставить работать и под виндой тоже. So what it does is this tool. Okay, let me like return back and explain what I'm going to do here. So there's this header. It contains tree size. I'm not sure what if it's usable for anything. Like then some section size. And I don't think that any of these are useful. Then after this header, there's this tree format, which is like a bunch of strings, and so there's 3 levels nested. First string is a file extension. Next, then there's array of strings. Like there's array of 3 nested arrays basically. And the top level array is extension, file extension. Middle level array is file paths. And the deepest level is a file name. So... And an array end is basically 2 0 bytes together. And the deepest level array is not like file names, it's file name and then some file structure, which is, I believe, this structure, which contains CRC. I'm not going to like verify anything. I don't care. And then this preload bytes, which means that besides this entry, there will be some bytes after that, which are actually parts of the file data. And then there's archive index, which says from which archive we should get the actual file data. As I said before, there are like many files with this numbered archives. And There's offset into the archive file. And then there's length, which is a length into a length of the file part that is in archive. So basically the entire file length is this size plus this size, and this size goes right after this entry, and this size goes from the archive. Юрий, привет. Гекарка, ты вылечил матрицы? Ну да, там можно же летать по карте сейчас. Там у меня матрицы перемножал в неправильном порядке. Может для BSP хоть GUI сделать? А какой GUI? Непонятно, какой GUI там делать. Так, а тут с чатом что-то не так. ПКшный чат погиб. Okay, I'm going to pop out the Twitch chat because for some reason my chat aggregator broke. Okay, so, and then there are footer section, file, read like a separate. Okay, so it's possible to reference not a special archive, but this directory file. So this is the file that relative to the end of the directory. See the header for more details. Просмотр, редактирование ресурсов. Ну тут редактирования это толком никакого не будет, это исключительно просмотрщик. Гринтью, привет. I'm not sure I understand what they mean here. Okay, I'm not going to do anything with these because, well, I don't care. Okay, and archive files are like raw data without any structure whatsoever. Skip into the staging file. Oh, trying to make a person C#, then should be merged with the format area later. Nulls to signify if skipping is used. A normal entry, it uses 2 nulls and is followed by the format above. However, there are cases where there are only 1 or no nulls at the start, and this means that some level of skipping is used. What? If there are 2 nulls, no skipping is used, and the extension path and name are read as usual. If there's 1 null, then extension is skipped. The same extension as the last read entry, and the path and name are read as usual, and if there are no nulls, then this path. I don't get it. This is observed in VPK1. Okay, then I don't care. So VPK data. Let's start with so as you remember, I do have this collection API. So basically VPK will be a collection, iCollection implementation which is like VPK collection something. So struct VPK collection. Which will start with iCollection header. Там есть ссылки на готовые проекты. Более того, у меня вот здесь открыта коротенькая на 600 строчек сишная имплементация, которую я, естественно, буду подсматривать. So pending what? Okay, I will look at this in detail if I have trouble with reading it myself. Do I need like a collection path? No, I don't. Maybe what I do need is, first of all, I will need to memory map these files. Because, or will I? I'm not sure. Do I use memory mapped files here anywhere? I believe that for reading textures, I don't use anything like that, even for reading textures. So collection C. File system collection file. I file had a file, which I believe is a simple file, like without any memory mapping stuff. Okay. I also would like to change iCollection API a little bit. Because these like file slots limit, it's stupid. Like it's no good reason for it. What I do need to have is a way to specify already opened VPK file archive files. Okay, so what I do? Probably size T is better here. Okay, let me do it like this. I do need a limit of maximum opened archive files. So max VPK archive, which is like 8. Okay, I can do 8 because there are 10 of these. Okay, then 16. Then there's struct a file archives max VPK archives. And another thing, so yeah, yes, they begin from 0. So I also need to have a file directory. VPK collection create struct APK collection. Well, this is interesting. How do I specify this? The best way possible. Okay, dear. File name. Here, what I do here is I need to implement this thing here. Collection is unused. Size info. A file open. I don't remember this API. Okay. And then src FileMap, a FileMap, and a file. Okay, I think I do want to use memory mapped files here. That would be just simpler to work with. Okay. So what this API here is. FileMap is collection directory. Jeffrey, привет. A FileMap open. Dear file name. This is actually kind of weird API I have for FileMap. Error can't map file. File result. Okay, so if for some reason collection directory map is null, then we just complain that we don't just complain, we need to file system connection create. Like this thing can't fail, but VPK can. So we should like just cannot open. Can't open. Tier file name. And basically like exit with an error in the most rude way possible. Otherwise we should read the PK header, and for this thing I need to so I have VPSP, VPK. Павел Судаков, привет. Once. And then I need to do this format headers from here. So basically there are two unsigned ints, and then there are 5 unsigned ints. Oh, how do I specify this? So yeah, this one. Okay, 2 headers. So this one is signature. This one is version. So I'm making a lot of assumptions here. For example, that I'm on little endian platform, and this, yeah, and I also need to do this. And I believe there was like something, yeah, to return to the default alignment. So yeah, tree size, file data, right? And then like okay, yeah, also I will need find VPK signature, which is 55AA1234. What? I forgot 55AA 234 unsigned long. Okay, next thing is VPK directory entry. Struct VPK. Okay, I will call it file because why not? And it consists of CRC, the 32, 16, 16, 32, 16, 16, 32, 32. and terminator. Whatever. CRC 16T real 16 archive 32 offset length offset length right. Is a terminator, whatever. Fine, VPK terminator. Okay, so this thing here, as a test, I think I will do just dump all the data that I have here, which is, okay, I opened the map, then I need to check the if. Okay, I will need to do it like this, const int 8t. Dir, which is collection directory map. And I will also need this size, which is collection directory size. Now I can just quickly check if size is less or equal to size of VPK to header, and I need to have it included somewhere here. VPK. Then I will just complain about it. And also exit. And then I can do, after I do this, I can do this const struct vpk to header. Юрий спрашивает, что думаешь о взломе Denuvo? Ничего не думаю. Ну, то есть, насколько я знаю, долго не могли сломать, потом наконец-то сломали, и, в общем, справедливость восторжествовала. Ну, как бы, как любой нормальный человек, к DRM я отношусь там резко плохо. И как бы всегда радостно, когда оно в очередной раз не работает. Ну, потому что, ой, законы физики там победили, да, внезапно. Но технических подробностей не знаю, почему, как и вообще. Было бы интересно почитать. So, Gear, of course. Yeah, and you don't like it because whatever directory map. Yeah, because like from pointer to void can be casted to anything without explicit cast, but like two different types require cast, and I'm too lazy to write it. And this like the file starts with this, and I can safely like use it like that. If header signature isn't equal to VPK signature, then I can also like run VPK signature header signature and exit. Version isn't equal to 2. Then I can also like version is not okay, version is not supported. Do I need this dir for anything? Yes, I will need it in a moment. So yeah, basically, constant 8. Well, this is cursor, and this is dir plus size of struct vpk to header. Right after the header, we start with the tree parsing. So what we do here is like while and I also need like const and which is dir plus plus size basically. Const signature. Yeah, this is like this way, while c isn't equal to forever. First of all, forever. Then first one is read extension. While c isn't equal to 0 byte and c less than end pointer next begin. This is c, and then this is just plus plus c. If c equals to x begin, then we're basically done and we break from this cycle. from this loop. Then we read also for our loop, read path, which is like the scheme is the same. And also like const char extend AC. And yeah, this is like all the way constant. Path begin. I believe I can like just extract this as a and I also like need to reverse this check because this dereference is dangerous. I first need to check that I'm inside the byte that I can read, and only then like dereference the pointer. And then this is basically the same thing here. Like if C is path begin, then break, and if not, then this is path end. And the third level loop is read file name, which is basically the same thing, just the same, just the path is file name. So this entire construct is like but yeah, if file name, then we break, and then yeah, this nest is one more level, and then there's this I can just construct vpk file which is C, right? Yeah, this should be it. And then we just need to, first of all, we need to check that if C if end minus C is greater than size of struct vpk file. If it's not that, then we need to complain that how do I say it? Incomplete vpk file struct. And yeah, let it be just print and exit -1. And at this point I need to size of struct, to shift the cursor further, struct vpk file, and probably file and preload bytes because that's included. And here I should also check that a file terminator is vpk terminator. And if it's not, then ROM terminator and this is not fatal because I don't know what's going on there. And here I do this, I just print the entire thing. So basically this is how it, I think it was something like this: path, then file name, then extension, size, this, archive, this, okay, preload, archive, offset, length. And this is the fun part. So path, path and minus path begin, file name and minus file name begin, file name begin. As you remember, we don't have null terminated strings here, so we are forced to use this format, and these are the string length. And the third one is extension and minus extension begin, ext begin. Алексей Андреев, здравствуйте. And then file preload bytes, file archive, file offset, file archive length, long and unsigned long. Like, what the hell? This, I'm sure, is unsigned long and can be. And this one, field precision should have type in, but argument has type long. Okay, I may be getting the format wrong here. Dot then asterisk. This is right, but it's type long. Okay, let me try to cast this entire thing here. What? And here, and here. Yeah, this was it. So as a test, too many FS collections. will do this, this, too many collections specified. And this is not file system collection, this is actually VPK collection create collections. Okay, as a test, I think, let me do it like this, VPK collection VC, and then this entire thing goes away. Something like this. Obviously a pointer to it. And also, let me try opening VPK collection from this insane this what did we have, like two textures here, two textures tier VPK. Okay, let's try it. Okay. What was the... this, yeah, this is what went wrong. I need to do this thing here. And then I can get to something. No, nothing happened. Okay, this is weird. better if I do it like this. And this, I will just copy this and make no. What is the output directory of this? Obj is, yeah, obj. Obj. At least one map and one collection required. This is like expected, but you VPK collection create value. What's going on here? Okay, print opening collection dear file name. Size. I see. This thing here needs to be not like that, like this, and then open collection. So it successfully opened the connection, but it just refused to output any meaningful data from it. And like it didn't complain about anything. It just completely skipped. CX begin. Path begin. So somewhere here it just, okay, I'm done. Yeah, of course. Of course. The first ever for example, if it gets here, okay, if it goes here and then extend, and then we need to do it like this. Probably better to do it like this. And like this. And like this. So the thing is, when the mistake was like it reads this file, this string, and finds a null character, and then goes here and finds the very same character and bails out. So, and nothing happened. Okay, let me do it this way then. gb args break vpk collection create set print yes, and run. Okay, you open the file. This is okay, dear. Size. Okay. Header. Signature version 3 size. Don't care size. Okay, whatever. Version 2 and CPC VTF PC ext begin. What? Oh crap. Next. Next begin. Next and next PC pxt begin. Next. Oh, yeah, the same mistake. This is the wrong place to do this. This is the place, and this is the place. Yeah. Okay. Incomplete VPK file structure. So for some reason you didn't like the size. If yeah, this is like the size is less than VPK file, then it should be an incomplete structure. Okay, we got some memory, not corruption, but like some stuff from memory which shouldn't be there. This is fun. Pre-32 arc. And then this looks broken. Let's examine the VPK format again. So this is 32 bytes. This is 16 bits, not bytes, bits. And this is 32, 16, 16. 32, 16. Okay, I'm confused. Let's look at what this guy does here. Which is basically the same. Okay. Read VPK header. Okay. Read uint, short, uint, short. File system. Data offset. Okay. Read directory. Extension read string. Path read string. read directory entry. Preload bytes. But this doesn't look correct. Like this thing here isn't correct at all. Short unit. Preload bytes. What? Let's do it. Two times. Okay. Do you have any idea of what might be wrong here? Okay, let's print CRC. CRC. Probably I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm doing the very same mistake here. I need to shift it by 1 byte. No? Yeah, and yeah, this is interesting. So it printed just 3 textures and then decided to bail. And yeah, of course, this also need this, and this also need this as well. Right? Yeah. This is more like it. Lots of stuff here. Okay, next thing to do is to actually load some data from these files instead of from file system. I think I will do a short break and return like in 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Next thing that I'm going to do is sorry about that. In order to load these files, I need to have an interface where I return an I file. These, where was it? This structure from the collection API. And for this, I need a way to get this data for a file name. As you can see, it's packed really uncomfortably here, and there are many hundred or possibly thousands of files in here. So doing this traversal on each file request is out of question. Basically, it's a n-square operation, and it will be really slow. Like, this is completely, yeah. So I will need to load at the beginning of this thing. I will need to load this store it into some temporary acceleration structure, which is like not really that temporary. I think it will live for the entire application life, because, well, no need to. Basically, it needs to be there for the entire loading procedure. Whatever. And I really don't feel like using the standards allocator here, because this is a pet project and I can do whatever I want. So I will be doing, I think I will be doing like three-step reading. Like the first step, I will go through the entire directory here and count all the string length that I have, like get the entire count memory that I need for strings, count the memory that I need for files, count all the archives that are referenced, and only after that I will allocate memory for the accelerating structure. And then what I will do is the second pass will be loading this data. So I will start again by reading this this tree, but this time I will store it into some memory that I will have in place and prepared. And then I have a question whether I should like do insertion sort of the strings. I will want to sort the strings by the sort the file names by their strings, basically to be able to do a binary search on this data. So I can do insertion sort, or I can do like load them as they are, but then do a quick sort or something. Okay, so in order to do this thing, I need to figure out this. So I will need to do this and this logic several times, but with different results. Well, with different operations here. What I need to do is probably I should do a static Okay, let's do it. Another attempt at doing like string view, which is like const char s and int len. And this thing needs to read static const char read string. Const char c and char and this thing is basically this. Not sure about API here, which will be the best one. Okay, probably the most convenient way here would be like const string view ext, which is like read string c and something like that. So then struct string view struct string view red, which is like c and 0. And then red length is c, and this is this is this, and len is c minus red s. Something like that. Then I can replace this entire thing by if ext len 0, then break. Like this. And I can also do stuff like this. Define pre sw, which is like this, and define sw how shall I call it? PSV, whatever. PSV, which is SLAN SS. Cycle zgda sa. Hi. Sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce your name. What mod? This is not a mod. This is a completely separate, like, executable, like, program which only renders this thing. Like, it's not playable. It's not a map that you can play. It's just a thing that you can, like, use your mouse to fly by, and this is a separate program. So when I have this thing here, pre-sv, this, then pre-sv, then pre-sv, and this thing becomes like pass sv, pass sv, file name and pass sv next, and this goes away, right? Struct string view what? Path file name next. Can I become a moderator in chat? For what reason? I don't think my chat needs moderation. There are like 5 people in there. No member name path. I see. Okay, let's do it like this. Replace this part with it. So at this point, this should give the no. Something went really wrong. Probably this thing needs another, yeah. Nope, this is not it. So what's going on here? Xlan, no, not X, path, and then file name. This was wrong. And now something else is wrong too. It doesn't even come. So I broke things for no good reason. Normal sheet font. Okay, at least 3 different textures, which I believe was the reason. Yeah, they had a different path, so something is breaking at path level. And otherwise, this data looks fine, I guess. Yeah, this looks reasonable. Restring. So when it yeah, sure. This needs to be here. Yeah. I already did that. Which may make C go past the end, but I don't care in this case. Yeah, this works. And I also probably can do just, this is the thing that goes in here, so yeah. So this becomes this, and then I can do it in one pass actually. If I'm given temporal memory and the memory where I will I will store the end result. This can be done in that way. I will only need to sort the final structure, so I can do insertion sort. Well, I can do insertion sort. Okay, so let me think of it. Let me think. So doing this, I just need to store these strings into temporary memory and store the pointer to these strings into permanent memory. When adding the string to the pointer to the permanent memory, I can just do insertion sort. Basically, I maintain the order of pointers sorted by the string sort, basically, if you understand what I'm saying. And then after that, I will need to free up the temporary memory, and at this point I will just memcopy the strings from temporary memory into permanent memory while fixing the pointers in permanent memory. Yeah, this looks right. I can do this. And this will have like 0 allocations. Again. Like these strings aren't allocated at all. Like they are here. If you see here, like he does the same thing. Shelly, здрасте. He does the same thing. He reads the string, but he freezes afterwards. Like even for like whatever. Here. I can do without allocations. Well, basically I do need a temporary memory for storage, and it kind of allocation of a permanent memory, but it's like the permanent memory is pre-allocated. So I can live without the standard memory allocator here too. Okay, so but I do need these 2 memory pointers, and I will need to remember how to use them. I had them common or FileMap memory pools. So basically I have a stack. For both types of memories, I use just a simple stack. Simple stack. Okay, let me check what I do with BSP. Yeah, that's basically 2 stacks: persistent stack and temporary stack. Okay, I can do pretty much the same thing here. And I can also change this entire API. Like, if I'm going to allocate the memory, I can just allocate the VPK collection as well. Should I do it? I'm not sure. Like, I can make this decision later. I can just stack struct stack persistent and struct stack temp. And I will also need to fix up the API here. Okay, so first thing, I'm not sure that I will going to finish with this VPK stuff today, because it's past midnight here and I'm getting tired. But we'll try at least loading these files. Why do you conflicting types and declaration struct stack? Yeah, you will need some memory pool section here. Okay, so turns out this is the only traversal of this tree that I need. So I can just const char, not const char, but char. Do I need this? No, I don't. I can do all of this in place. Not exactly. I need const char pointer to, yeah, so and not actually that either. What I need to do is I need to have my internal structure for this stuff here, so I need to like vpk how should I name stuff? So there's like this vanilla VPK, which is like these definitions. Probably I should just like tree entry. And I changed this S3 entry to. And change all the file entry and file tree entry and this too. Entry name, file name, and then I can just do this vpk file to data, which is like const char file name, and then I need struct parts. There may be two parts of this file. First part is offset and len size. Just for part tier and apk file part arg. Okay. Apk file part max. This is metadata. Unused. Okay, I will use it shortly. File metadata. So I will populate the persistent memory with these structures. Yeah, thanks. Спасибо. Спасибо. So I need to start with like empty structures. Struct vpk file metadata files begin, which is a stack get cursor persistent. And yeah, files and files begin. This is the same output array. And here what I do is I think I should ignore entries with wrong terminator. It is a signal of something being wrong. Exit -1. And at this point, what I can do is I can const int file name len, which is 3 plus path len plus file name len plus ext len. This is entire memory that is needed for the file name. Then I can do char file name temp, which is stack allocate temporary stack and file name len. And what I also need to do is rewind the temporary stack back, and for that I need to have its starting position. So on const void temp stack top, which is I also need to mark it as a const, which is like stack get cursor temp. And at the very end of this function I need to free the temporary stack. Stack free up to position temp stack top, and this should be like exit point of this function. And here I can, although what you didn't like about it, whatever. If not file name temp, then basically we've run out of memory and we should just printf not enough temp memory. That's not a printf, it's just print and exit -1. And then it becomes just simple mem copy, just a bunch of mem copies. File name temp, copy the path as path len, file name temp plus path len plus file name temp path len equals to this, obviously like this, yeah. Path len plus 1, file name s file name len path len plus 1 plus file len this, and next s and next len. Name and yeah, plus 1. Temp file name len minus 1 is 0. So I should need to do this. Okay. And then I can just use this string here as a file name temp. Let's try this. We can try this because I didn't pass the PK collection create. I do need to pass memory pools there. Stack temp. Okay, so this stack temp and what was the order? I don't remember. Persistent and then temp. Persistent, then stack temp, right? Right. Rexim Hoi. And then I can try it and it will like explode or something. And it didn't explode and I'm surprised. Okay, so there was the temp memory string. Next thing that I need to do is allocate the persistent memory for this thing, which is struct pk file metadata file stack get allocate and this is a persistent stack and size is basically size of struct pk file metadata and is the same thing. If it wasn't allocated, then print not enough persistent memory and exit. Something like this. And then what I can do is I can just set file name to the file name temp parts if entry preload bytes, then I probably need to like set this thing to 0. If preload bytes, then vpk file part dir is offset, and this is difficult. For this I will probably need some why is this difficult? This is not difficult at all. I can just do this dir c minus dir or something. Yeah. I can do it like this. Entry C size of plus pk tree entry. Then the offset is do I need to do this? No, I don't, but I can. Basically, the directory will always be in memory. Or not. No. The thing is, one of the things why I didn't use the memory mapped model in the first place several months ago is because of 32-bit stuff. Basically, there are a lot of these VPKs which have can have several gigabytes in size combined. So these ones. So this one takes the 3.5 gigabytes, and on 32-bit systems I can't memory map all of them into single process memory, like memory space of a single process. So yeah, I can't use memory map here because they will basically run out of 32 bits memory space. So what I will need to do at some point is to get rid of the memory map stuff that I'm using here right now. Unfortunately. And I will need to have all these offsets. How many files do I have here? 36 files. If it was a little bit more, then I could also start to worry about depleting the file descriptors per process. Like 36 is fine, I guess, but around I believe it was 100 or something. I can do that. What? Wow. Okay. It doesn't want me to read things. Whatever. I think this usual limit was around like 128 file descriptors per process, or something like that. Indices, thanks for the follow. Only noticed. Sorry about that. Noticed only just now. So I do need to store the offset, which is file parts size is entry preload bytes. If entry archive length, then file archive is entry archive file parts apk file part archive offset is entry archive offset, and this one size is archive length. What's different between size and length? I'm not sure. I use them interchangeably and this is confusing. So at this point, I do have the the last entry of the metadata array field, and what I need to do is to insert it to its right place. And to find it right place, I need to do a binary search on the already sorted array. And the question here is, should I do it in place, or should I like come up with some sorted array stuff? Okay, I've been streaming for 2 hours already. Let me just check that it builds, and it does. For some reason, I'm confused that it works like it shouldn't. Like, this is surprising. File sent is unused. It did complain, but didn't even like. Yeah, it complained. Okay, let me I'll take a quick break, and on this break I will decide if I will continue streaming today, or like do it some another time, because I got too tired and it's like painful. So a quick break, and then we'll see. You know what? I decided that actually sorting them is an optimization, and I can for now leave without that and leave the sorting part to the next stream. But today I think I will still try to finish the VPK loading itself, even though it probably will be slower than the thing I have right now. So at this point I have the files and is the file +1, right? Yes. Now this is what? This is file name. So okay. This is for file names, for paths, and for extensions. At this point I have an array of file metadata, and what I should do is like to do sort, and at this point here I should store the strings. Another thing that I need to do is to load archive, get the number of archives referenced by the files here. So supposedly int max archives. I'm making an assumption here that archives are linear without any holes. If entry file archive is greater than max archives, then max archives equals to file archive. And this is actually, if it's not equal to what there was this weird thing about this number, then it's entry archive. Otherwise I will do it just like this, -1. -1 is the directory itself. Max archives. Another thing that I will do is FileMap directory. Whatever directory can be a mapped file, and this will be just file archives, and then to do sort. Store file names permanently and open archives. So if max archives is greater than equal, then we became I forgot. max vpk archives. Max vpk archives. Then printf too many archives. And exit. Zero less than max archives. And here I need this thing where okay. Char arc name. Stack along. I can also do like this, I believe. Strlen dir file name. It will have exactly the same. Size, what? Integer to pointer converter. You probably need this. And this is obviously I. Arc name. And you can just arc name from the dir file name and +1. And here it goes like this: printf percent 03 03d dot vpk, and this is arc name plus dir file name length minus 7, and this is I. If not arc name or dir file name len less than 8, okay, there's probably less off by one error here. And, just VTF. I'm too tired to think. This will be a mess. Okay, and then what I do is collection archives not that a file open archives plus I. What this is I. A file open. A file name, obviously. Arc name. And if this thing is not equal to a file success, then cannot open archive arc name exit. This way we have opened all the needed archives. Store file names permanently. This includes file name template. Can I just like store the string? File name. Okay, I can do it like this. String view file name. Well, it's really a structure. S is file name temp and file name length is file name len. File name len is 3 plus, so it includes the 0, so this is -1. This one should do it like this. Okay, file metadata files begin file end. Okay, here what it should do, it just should allocate the char perma string is stack alloc permanent file name len +1 if not perma string then printf not enough permanent memory. Not printf, just print. Persistent. That's what it's called, persistent. String and exit -1. I can't think right now. Everything is so noisy. Like okay, allocated. Then mem copy string file name s file then +1, right? Right. And then file name as is string. So this way all the strings are stored in permanent persistent memory. And won't go away when this thing happens. So it so far so good. Collection head next. Next we don't care about open. VPK collection open head close VPK collection close, and we don't have those. We don't have those. We should implement them here. Another thing that I forgot about is that to store this as a files count. This is VPK. This is basically fix me. Close handles. And this stuff. Struct VPK collection VPKC VPK oh struct VPK collection FileOpen. I can do the same stuff that is done here. FileOpen. But I don't like it so much. Like, this is crap. Basically, there's an array of maximum number of files. There's some maintenance going on there about those. I really don't want to go that route. I would like to allocate them at some thing and then just get rid of them. Like, it would be useful if we had like temporary memory stack here. We just because basically for anything that opens file from these collections, those files exist for a duration of the block when it happens. So when it goes out of this block, we can also free the temporary stack there. Something like that. Джеффри, англоговорящих зрителей много, спрашивает. Я понятия не имею. Все зрители, которые меня смотрят, они такие тихони и в чат ничего не пишут. Anyway, I think I'm too tired. I can't continue like this. This is impossible to finish today, unfortunately. So, nevertheless, I think, I was afraid that BPK was quite a bit more complicated than that. Доктор Досер, привет. Тихони. Да, тихони. Пришли и молчат. Unfortunately, I couldn't finish it today for no good reason. Just, I think I'm too tired today. For the past 1 or 2 hours, I was not thinking very well. But it's very clear what to do from now, and I think we'll be finishing this loading this week and fixing a couple of other issues. So привет, просто мне сложно в C, но я хочу изучить позже C++, пишет доктор Досер. C сильно проще, чем C++. Хотя тот C, конечно, вот как я здесь делаю, он такой как бы... Ну, в общем, если бы использовать какой-нибудь STL из C++, тут было бы все написано уже очень давно. То есть он бы был такой... У меня тут был конкретный челлендж. Это C, и нельзя пользоваться аллокатором. Просто челлендж. Вот. Поэтому, ну и да, все ручками. Хотя, конечно, вот там всякие sprintf, ну, memcopy, понятно, он тривиальный, mset тривиальный, а вот всякие вот printf, конечно, такие не свои. И что-то еще. Quicksort я где-то использую. В общем, да. Джеффри, да, просто интересно следить за процессом. Ну, классно. Хорошо, если так. Anyway, I will be finishing today. And next scheduled stream is on Thursday. So see you on Thursday. Да, я сегодня заканчиваю. И, наверное, до четверга. Доделается все это в четверг. So thanks for watching. Thanks for asking questions and whatever. And see you next Thursday. See you. Bye.